Welcome to coverage of iCast 2023, made possible by the best amp outdoors lithium battery. Simply the best batteries you could buy with your money. Use coupon code Aliex5 so you can save yourself 5% and be happier. Yes, it's an affiliate link. More information about it down below in this.
You got something new, bro. What is this?
This is the UpTown 100. It's our new inflatable, drop stitched. It's a really hardcore, really cool boat. I'm pretty excited about it. With this boat, it's 10 feet long. It's got this nice wide base, and it's got a pedal drive. Not just this pedal drive, you can put our X drive in it and swap this pod out just like you can swap the pods out on the Makana and on the Shearwater. This drive gives you something that our other drive does not, and that is instant reverse. So you can go forward, you can go backwards. You don't have to pull on any cables. This drive is super maintenance free. I think you actually have one that you have not taken care of, and it's doing all right.
It's doing all right, even in salt water. Like I took it on the water, salt water. I flipped that kayak over there, and I threw it back in the backyard, and it's still like the first day.
Yeah, this drive is very, very simple, and it is very maintenance free. It's not going to give you any serious troubles at all. As far as this platform goes, it's fast. I was actually shocked at how fast it was and how stable it is. So you've got 4 gear tracks on it, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You can mount your camera gear, you can mount your rod holders. You've got our Sane Hero 2.0 seat just with some legs on it. So this whole thing folds up into a backpack that's about this tall with wheels. You can take this on an airplane with you. As a matter of fact, we have taken them from Utah to here. These boats are going to change things for a lot of people. If you have a Honda Civic or you have a small car, you can't get a hard-sided kayak on it. Even if it's the 10-foot, very 55-pound kayak, this is way lighter. This is way easier to maneuver, and this is going to be an easier entry for more people into the market, and that's what it's for.
What's gonna be the price point?
So this, we're still working on the price point, but it's going to be right around the same as the Makana. Maybe we can figure out a way to get you into one, see if you can flip it.
Yeah, I mean, it actually felt really good on the water. I was able to do my water demo and then come back and park, how do you say, dock, and going in reverse using the instant reverse on the rudder without having to touch a paddle. So the control is incredible.
Yeah.
And this drive here felt better in this craft than any other craft it's been on.
It feels like it belongs in this boat.
Exactly, because it's light, and you know, like the mechanism here, even though it needs a little work, and I know you're working on it, it feels solid than in other things. Like, are you familiar with the Makeup 10?
Yes.
So I don't know how it works, but it works. It's very simple. But here it felt better, like a better execution. Maybe that's because of you?
I wouldn't say that. We've got a really good team that's working on all of just making it all work together. The design of the boat is a team effort, and I honestly think it was crushed, man. The weight really depends on what you've got going on, whether it's the X drive or the impulse drive. But no matter how you rig it out, you're coming in under 50 pounds, well under 50 pounds. You can install a fin on the bottom of it if you want to track arrows straight. If you want a little bit more maneuverability, you can remove the fin so you've got your rudder controls. There's really not much else to say about this boat, honestly.
Oh, there is a lot to say. For example, the rudder, how do you control that?
So the rudder is right here on the seat, and it is adjustable in how you have it set up, so you can have it where you want it. You have stainless steel cables running through plastic sheathing.
And what if you want to have it on your left?
If you want to have it on the left, all you have to do is, theoretically we can put it over here, and we've actually been discussing this internally. We haven't done it yet.
It's a simple DIY. Even if you buy this boat,
simple.
it is only on your right. You could remove the fittings.
It's just a gear track. It's our normal.
Exactly.
It's our normal gear tracks.
You could actually even glue a gear track in here.
If you wanted to.
And then just put it there if you want to.
Yeah.
And it does work, because again, I was able to dock easy with it.
Absolutely. And the seat folds right up. I'm not going to take it off, but it folds right up. It's actually perch compatible as well. So we can throw our summit perch on this thing, and you can stand 16 inches off the deck and sight fish as much as you want.
And now that you mentioned that you could actually put your X drive in here, that means if you have a hobby drive, you could do the same?
Exactly. So our other pod for this is the X drive pod. basically the way that works is as you're inflating the boat, before it gets fully inflated, you place the pod here, push down or step on it, and you can kind of feel it and hear it into place. Once you're locked into place and then you continue to inflate it, this thing is not going anywhere.
It kind of like...
Yeah, it like gives it a big old bear hug.
Is that the same for the rudder here?
So that's basically the way the rudder works as well. As you're inflating the boat, you slide the rudder on and then you place these straps to any of the D-rings that you want to. I like it further here so you're pulling it closer this way. And it has some movement like this. We have never had any issues with it on the water. It's been rock solid.
Again, it worked amazingly on the water, and I see that you could probably, you could easily put the BIxpy there, drop it in if you want.
Good.
Or put it on the rudder, or
put it on a gear track mount, or you can put it on in the drive mount.
Have you put a 10 horsepower on this before?
I have not. If you would like to do it, I'll film it for you.
Awesome. How many PSI does it take?
15 PSI.
It's very wide. You know what I like? You know why it's so stable? Because it's wide.
Yep.
What is it, like 40, 42?
38.
38?
I think.
Wow, this is and that is the perfect width actually for this. And it comes with this mat, like this is how it's gonna come?
It comes rigged out with your deck padding. It comes with the gear tracks. It comes with the seat. It comes with a pump. It comes with a drive. It'll be available with both drives. It comes with the rudder. It comes with a paddle. And it all fits into the bag. And you can take the bag with you anywhere you want to go.
People don't understand the potential of this thing.
The bag has wheels.
Exactly, and you get one of those little BIxpy batteries and one of those electronic air pumping whatever, and you could inflate this in 2 seconds. That's what I did with that one over there.
It takes about 5 to 8 minutes to pump it up with an electric pump. It takes about 10 minutes to pump it up with the dual chamber hand pump.
So the UpTown is gonna be available later this year, and I know it looks like just like another inflatable whatever, but this thing has a potential because they have the drives, and you could put a hobby drive in here. Like, you don't have to spend hobby money.
Yeah.
If you already have it. Like, if you have a hobby Outback or whatever.
Yep. You can put the Mirage drive in there. If you want their 180 drive with their cable pull reverse, you can go that route. You get the kick up fins if you go that route. If you want instant reverse, we've got the prop. So
exactly. So you guys should do an SKU just for the boat.
It may be done.
A lot of people already have the X drive because they have a Macana or they have a sheer water.
Absolutely. So the way all of the Vibe pedal drive boats moving forward, it's going to be available as a paddle boat primarily. You purchase the paddle boat. If you want whichever pod, you can have this pod, you can have the X drive pod, you can put a motor on it, you can do whatever you want. We're not going to lock you into using one drive in any of our pedal boats anymore.
I like that. I like that because, again, a lot of people already have the drives. So why force them get them again?
You probably have what, 6 of them?
Like 25?
I know it's a different boat, but...
Oh, I see. Can I take that home?
You cannot take this home because it's coming home with me. So
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I need this.
Now,
you have instant reverse.
you have instant reverse in your Macana.
What?
It's adjustable forwards and backwards because the seat on the Macana doesn't adjust like it does in the Shearwater. This drive's also adjustable up and down, which is going to be important on this boat, I think. So basically, you just kind of figure out roughly where you want it. You loosen these screws here, and the drive telescopes up and down. And you can kind of dial it in for your height or your boat. You lock it into place. It's not going to move while you're on the water. And now you've got reverse on your Macana.
Man, and let's say you already have the Macana the way it is, so how you bought it, and now you could add this.
All you have to do is pick up this pod and this drive. If you already have this drive because you bought it with your UpTown, you only need to buy the pod.
Yeah, you could have both, and I have a feeling that this is gonna work better than other people that have tried it before.
This drive on this boat is fast. It is very, very fast. I was super impressed with it. So what I want to use this drive for, windy days.
Current.
As a tournament fisherman, windy days, high current, or if I know I'm going to be crossing a whole lake to get to my fishing spot. Right? I like the fin drive when I'm in the shallows because you can do the flutter kick thing and keep it real shallow. I really like this drive for crossing bigger water.
I know this boat is small, but you could literally take the X drive and the boat just.
I have. So the original prototype for this was very 3D printed. It wasn't really a functional part, and I wanted to test the whole system. So crossing lakes and stuff with a 3D printed part is a little sketchy. So I was bringing an extra pod with me and a different drive, just in case I needed it.
The big one's the easiest. The knob is the biggest. Okay.
Offshore signs is at brass.
And there's that. There's the seal that helps keep the water out of the drag.
And we used to have to separate even if it had a
And there's the drag washers.
what happened was the metal was too
And there's another seal there. It helps keeps the water out of the gear train. That's the important one right there. That keeps the water out of the drag. That's a big deal.
but it's now all brass.
This is an exciting time, an exciting place here at iCast in Orlando. In case you're watching this in the future, we're sitting here in July of 2023. But one of the most exciting things is the 7th generation of the Penn Spinfisher reel series. And it is a very, very popular series. It's been around, you can imagine 7 generations. It's been around for a long time. There's a lot of different sizes now, everything from a little 2500 all the way up to the gigantic, at least to me, 10,500 size. And everything, as you can see, basically for fish from 2 pounds to 200 pounds, depending on what kind of fish they are. If you can't find a reel that works for you, maybe you're not really fishing. So we've got all these different sizes. Also, we have 7 different variations. 4 different variations. That is, I was trying to say several. See, you got me to do it now. So I'm going to show you. Obviously, the most popular one is going to be the quote-unquote standard version, and something that's an interesting one to know. I want to bring this up because people do ask about this, and that is the manual bail versus the automatic bail. So with an automatic bail, when you turn the handle, the bail flips over. With the manual bail, it doesn't. And in this series, everything above the 5500 size has the manual bail. From the 5600 size down, it has the automatic. The reason is, we hope, and you hope too, that with the bigger size reels, you're going to be catching a bigger fish. So what happens is, if you're live bait fishing or even cut bait fishing, you cast your bait out, you get a bite, you're letting the fish run a little bit. If you have an automatic bail reel, and you try to flip that bail over with a big fish running with your bait, guess what? Your bail won't go all the way over. And you may break the fish off, you may break your bail off if the fish is big enough. So with a manual bail, you grab the bail, you pull it over, you hold it for a second until the line gets into the roller, and now you've got your big, again, whether it's a 50-pound fish or a 100-pound fish or a 200-pound fish. That is a very key thing, is manual engagement. And actually, because I'm used to this, even when I use the little reels that have the automatic bail, I don't use it. I still use the manual engagement even in the small reels that have it. So your mileage may vary, fish the way you want, but just understand 6,500 size reels and up will not have the automatic bail. So when you turn the handle, here's what happens. Nothing until you pull that bail over on your own. So that's a big one. Now, another very, very popular variation, if you fish with a lot of, in fact, on that very same theme, if you fish with a lot of live bait and or cut bait, not really for lures, but you've got the feature that they call live liner. Let me see if I can show that to the camera. It's a little lever back here, and you can set the tension the way you want it. But what that allows is you throw your bait out, and it allows the fish to run and swallow the bait. So that you can make sure he's got it not only in his mouth, he's got it right down in his throat. So you let him run, and whenever you decide that is, whether it's a count of 3 or a count of 5 or a count of 60, I don't care.
Which one's your count?
My personal count is 5.
Oh.
But everybody's different, okay? Your mileage will vary from that, okay? And then, whenever you decide it's time, Okay, put the camera right on that. When you turn the handle to set the hook, boom. Now your drag is engaged to whatever you set it at ahead of time. Make sure you set it ahead of time. And so, again, a lot of times, maybe one in the morning, the fish are grabbing the bait. You only have to count to 2. Later in the afternoon, they're full, they're kind of finicky, they're kind of mouthing the bait. You might have to count to 10 or longer to make sure that he swallows it. But again, that's up to you. But this way, you make sure that you can set the hook and let the fish run with the bait. Okay, that's variation number 1. That's the second most popular after the quote-unquote regular version. Okay, they call it average because on average, that's what you want. Now, a very popular one that's growing in popularity is the long cast version. And all of the things being equal, this will add 15 to 20% to your casting distance. And I know what you're thinking. I can hear you through the internet. I can hear you on YouTube. I can read your comments. Okay, you're like, well, why wouldn't I want to cast further? Why would I want those other ones when I can get the long cast version? You do give a couple things up. Number 1, they're for the same line capacity, they're a little bit heavier because you got a much longer shaft assembly. There's a lot more metal just to make the thing work. Okay, so it's going to add a little bit of weight. Also, depending on the model of reel that you get, in the regular models, they have anywhere from 20 to 40 pounds of drag. That's a lot of drag, and when the fish are big, you're glad that you have it. On these long stroke spools, you see how long that cycle is. The camera's loving that. On these long stroke spools, if you got a bite right about up there where the spool is way up on the shaft with 40 pounds of drag, you know what's going to happen? You're going to have a little bit of bend. It's not going to work with 40 pounds of drag. So generally the long cast models will have around 1/3 less drag than the same size in a regular model. So again, you have to decide for your style of fishing what's more important, maximum drag power or maximum casting distance. Remember, if you don't get the maximum casting distance in some places, you don't catch a fish. Other places, you know, you get it out 50 or 100 feet out, that's plenty. You don't have to worry about it. You will have to decide if that works for you. But the long cast version is definitely growing in popularity because a lot of people wish they could catch a 100-pound fish every time they go out, but the reality of it is they're going to catch 5-pound fish every time out, and if they don't cast a maximum, they're not going to catch anything. And so then that's when those long cast models really make a difference. And then the last version is the least popular version, and that is the bail-less version or the no bail version. And no, the bail isn't broken, it's not missing, it's that way on purpose. In certain styles of fishing, people prefer to pick the line up on their finger, make their cast, and then when they're ready to retrieve, they grab the line with their finger and they put it back on the roller. That's usually isolated to the northeastern section of the United States. Outside of that particular geographical area, they're not super common, but you will see them now and then, and you see them in the catalog and you wonder what they are. That's what they are. And all the reels in this series now have, and one of the big changes for the Generation 7, why they're the Generation 7, they all now have a machined brass pinion gear, which they had before. Some of the earlier models, the Generation 6, had an aluminum main gear. Now they all have a machined brass main gear. They're also still all IPX5. That's a waterproofness measurement. Same thing as they use for cell phones and cameras and things like that. You can look it up on the internet. That means if the wave washes over your head while you're surf fishing, you're going to be okay. But don't dunk it down in the water and try to crank it underwater. That's not going to work. Also, it's a small thing, extremely not sexy, but being here at iCast, I talked to a lot of different angles from a lot of different areas. I thought this wasn't going to be a big deal. I was wrong. People are so happy that there's now a revised line tie. Now the old line tie was not that efficient. You know, if you had very light line or very heavy line, it wouldn't really grip it. And so now the new one has kind of got a new design, so everything from 6-pound test grade all the way up to 100-pound chest leader or whatever you got in between. It's going to fit right in there nicely. Like I say, I didn't think that was going to be a big deal. Judging by anglers' reactions, it's a huge deal. The Generation 7 Penn Spinfisher is due in the fall of 2023, and there's a huge number of variations, again, from the little 2500 size to the gigantic 10,500 size. You should wish that you need a reel this big to catch the fish that you catch. But the retail price on these is going to range from $179.99 to $299.99. And again, there's a giant number of variations in between, different special features, etc. But that's a very nice, comfortable price range that if you're catching a lot of fish, you're going to want one of these reels.
Definitely gonna be buying 2 of those.
Yeah.
2500. That's my go-to. I feel like I could fight anything with 2500.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Good to see you.
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's
What
go.
are we gonna do?
Well, I'm already recording.
Amped Outdoors. Absolutely. So new for 2023. Got a lot of really good new technologies. I'm going to show you some of the things that make our batteries a little bit more compatible for you, the user, whether it's a kayak or a boat. We've got standardized sizes in all of our batteries now. So group size 24, group size 27, and then a group size 31. They're all standard marine sizes. You don't have to worry about a lot of batteries you see out there today are really big, and it's hard to find a lot of cases or even fit them in your boat. So we've standardized all of our sizes to marine style batteries. Bluetooth technology, which is brand new for 2023, just released over this last month. Built into all of our batteries, 50 amp hours and larger. So the big advantage of that is being able to monitor your batteries while you're using them throughout the day. Whether you're running fishing electronics or have your trolling motor, you don't have to worry about being stuck out in the water or having to go home early. This will tell you really how long you can go by running that Bluetooth app, and I'll kind of show you how that works here. Right now I'm monitoring 2 different batteries. So we have the ability to monitor just a single battery or unlimited batteries on this. And this one we have 2 different batteries, so I can toggle back and forth between these 2. Right now this one's showing that it has 60% capacity on it. It's got a current of 1.1 amps being drawn off of it. Remaining charge time, 68 hours. So it kind of gives you that remaining time, so that way you know how long you can stay on the water without having to go back in and charge that battery. A lot of other features on here too. It just shows charge cycles, how much capacity is remaining, how much power you're drawing, temperature of your product. Pretty slick design there. We also, if you're running batteries in series or running batteries in parallel, we have those functions on our app, so that way you can toggle over to that and monitor your entire system all at once. So pretty slick new advancement and feature in the Bluetooth app we've been working on for quite a while, so I think you'll really enjoy that once you go over to something like this. It just kind of puts you at ease when you're out in the water.
So there is a lot of new motors that are 24 to 36 volt brushless, so they're gonna record a lot of power.
Yep.
What do you recommend for those people that want to run those super heavy duty motors?
Absolutely. The kayak anglers out there really love our 24 volt 50 amp hour. So if you're running a 24 volt system, it's extremely lightweight at only 25 pounds. This thing is kind of a beast for kayak. Most people are going to get 15 plus miles of operation on a kayak, even on a boat. It's equivalent to like group size 27 lead acid batteries, running 2 of them together in series. So you could put this on your boat, still get all day worth of operation. You could pair 2 of them together to really double your capacity. So you could run a 24 volt 100 amp hour system by putting 2 of these together in parallel. For those of you that want to stick with a single battery, our 24 volt 80 amp hour is just a standard group size 31. New design case where this one is completely submersible, has an IP67 rating on it, so it's one of the best waterproof ratings in the industry today. The 24 volt 80 amp hour, whether it's a boat, kayak, this thing's going to give you all day power, even for the medium to heavier users that are out there today. For 36 volt users, I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of other options there. Very similar to that 36 volt 80 amp hour in a group size 31 case. We have a 36 volt 60 amp hour and then a 36 volt 50 amp hour, both with that high waterproof rating with IP67. That just means that you can really splash water on it. If you happen to tip your kayak or get this underwater in your boat for a short period of time, you're not going to have to worry about water getting in it.
I've seen people running 2 Graphon kayaks now.
Yep.
And there's no space. What can they do?
We've got the largest selection of small batteries for powering your electronics. Anywhere from a 7.5 amp hour battery that weighs under 2 pounds, all the way up to our 48 amp hour battery that weighs 7 pounds. And this thing will run, I mean, honestly, if you're running a live system, 12-inch screen, I mean, you're going to get at least 15 plus hours of operation on something like that. Or if you're running a couple of different graphs, we'll definitely have some solutions for you, whether it's our 30 amp hour up to 48 amp hour battery for your larger electronics. Right on the bottom of our page, if you've got Garmin, Lowrance, Humminbird, you can click on the Garmin, Lowrance, Humminbird link. It'll have all the electronics listed on there. We show the amp draw, and we'll show you how long they're going to last with each one of our batteries. So it's a nice little resource and tool to really pick out the best battery for powering your electronics needs.
Now this looks familiar, man.
Yeah.
This is all over the new Old Town PDL stuff.
Yeah, it's very similar. A new kayak coming out this next year by Old Town. It's a battery of this size. It's not a 30 amp hour, but they're running a new 36 volt kind of e-pedal system. Talked a lot about here at the show. It's going to be a battery of this size powering that electronic assist motor. And tell you what,
is that size in terms of physical size?
Physical size,
not internals.
Yeah, right about between 7 and 9 pounds. I don't know exactly, but it's a small little battery on that new e-pedal device, and I'll tell you what, it's going to make a big splash once that gets released. I think a lot of people are going to like that kayak, especially such a small battery, giving you a full day's worth of service really out on the water. So we're excited to partner with them on that.
Actually longer because it's hybrid, but
yes.
People say, like, how can this battery, because this will be the equivalent, right?
Yeah, so
why half the size? Like, let's show them. Let's show them.
Yeah, so the one that they're using is a 36 volt, I think it's 20 amp hour battery, so it's going to be a lot smaller. They're using a lithium ion technology. This is lithium iron phosphate and a 12 volt 60 amp hour, but it's going to be pretty equivalent as far as overall capacity, just in a smaller form factor.
Wow, what a difference! Do you think that this is ever going to be so good that big boats could run that instead of like the giant?
I wouldn't say a big boat, no. I mean, that's going to be pretty tough. You have to have a light user. I mean, this is a 12 volt 30 amp hour. I've had some people run these on kayaks or smaller.
Say that technology gets so good that you don't need this much space.
Well, sky's the limit, Abby. With the technology the way it is right now, we've packed about as much capacity in a small form factor battery as you could possibly find. But over time, the technology is always going to advance. Amped Outdoors will always be on top of it, is finding the most capacity in the smallest form factor battery to kind of fit your needs.
Can you see a future where anything you need to power a 36 volt, 112 pound thrust rolling motor will be packed in something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Time will tell.
So you're saying that going to Mars will be possible one day?
It's possible someday. I know they made a movie on it.
Hey, anything that they make movie of happens in real life.
That's right, man.
I think it's because it's a target.
Yep.
People see it and then they work hard to achieve it. Yep. So how was the steak last night?
Steak was amazing. If you ever come down here, there are a lot of dining opportunities, and I'll tell you, we've done the Cuban restaurant, we've done steak restaurant, and we have not been disappointed. So if you ever get to come down to iCast, there's amazing places to go around here to eat. So definitely got to check that out. It's all part of the experience.
That's the only reason you come here, huh?
That's exactly right.
Bro, you got batteries for everything. What about survival? Like
survival?
Like let's say you want to build an off-the-grid type of thing. Like, can you do it with these batteries as a backup?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in fact, who doesn't lose power at some point in time, right? Whether it's hurricane, earthquake, or just somebody hits power line, knocks it down, transformer blows. Got a lot of people who have shown us what they have done. You could use your standard 12-volt batteries combined with something like this here. This is a power inverter, and I'll tell you what, that could be a lifesaver. If you lose power, you connect that to that, you can still charge your phone, because these days you still have to have a cell phone, right? So you keep your phones charged, keep your kids happy, or if you just want to put some lights in your house, or keep your house lit during a power outage, connecting a standard power inverter to any 12-volt battery can give you power for all day.
Bro, you could connect fans, you could connect lights,
yep.
AC units, cooktops.
Absolutely.
You could literally live off the grid.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can, absolutely. People have used this technology for off-grid with solar. There's so many different opportunities with deep cycle lithium iron phosphate batteries like this, incredibly lightweight. Yeah, I mean, the applications are really endless.
I'm concerned about something, Matt.
What?
Since everybody has like 20,000 batteries, what happens when they're done? Like they go bad? Like what happens? What's the recycle like?
Yeah, never throw any type of battery in a landfill or the garbage, right? So I know lead acid batteries, a lot of places you can find around you where you can turn those in for core. With lithium batteries, they are fully recyclable, so there's a lot of recycling centers open up all over the place. It's a pretty quick and easy Google to find where you can recycle lithium batteries. These do have a long life expectancy, up to 5 times longer than lead acid, so they are much better for the environment. But if you do have the chance to recycle old batteries, definitely do it. And with lithium, they're going to make it a lot easier. It's become more and more readily available as you're using lithium batteries in pretty much everything today. You shouldn't have a problem finding a recycling center for it.
Say one lithium battery breaks.
Yeah.
Can they go ahead and get the component and build a new one? Is that reusable, or is?
I mean, it's becoming more and more. It's becoming easier to do. We've advanced our stuff, so our batteries are fully serviceable. So at any point in time, we could fix a battery. One of those things where they can recycle a lot of the components in them. If the battery is not something that you could fix, you can recycle and reuse a lot of the components that are part of a lithium battery today that you can't do with a lot of other battery technologies out there. So definitely make sure that you bring it into a recycling center.
So we're not gonna be walking and there's gonna be waste of lithium batteries all over the place.
No. I would sure hope not, as long as everybody is doing the respectable and right thing and recycling that product.
This is not a new plastic.
You know, I hope people do the right thing, just like any other waste out there. Recycle what you have. All the products that you see here can be recycled. All the components can be recycled. So it's definitely something that, do the wise thing. Do that right, so that way, yeah. I mean, 10, 20 years down the road, we don't have plastic floating out in the ocean like we do today.
Why am I still getting this comment? Really, you wanna use a lithium battery and explode your whole house, like go up in flame in the middle of the ocean?
It's a misconception with lithium. Lithium's been around for a long time. There's a lot of different lithium chemistries out there, not to be confused with lithium iron phosphate. We use almost all of the batteries here, lithium iron phosphate technology. It's LiFePO4. It's one of the safest lithium technologies out there. And I'll tell you that with the right type of build like this, battery management system that protects it, it's really going to be one of the safest batteries that you're going to find today. In fact, I would say even safer than lead acid batteries, because it has short circuit protection built into it. And really the only risk you have of fire with something like this on a high quality built battery is really if you threw it in a fire yourself. So definitely don't do that with lithium products. It's never safe, but lithium iron phosphate, incredibly safe.
We got a new Titan, finally. We got a new Titan, finally. I don't know how many years it's been. Probably 6 years since the first Titan came up. That was a crazy stuff. So now we got a new TitanX Propel 12.5, and this thing is built for one thing only: to fish. Look at that! You could add a trolling motor to the front. You got dual graph right there. Why would you need two? Why would you need two graph?
Live scope for Garmin. You got map and sonar.
Or Mega Live and 360. If you're home.
Yeah, Live 360. Both these are Garmin, but yeah, that's probably the main reason for two. But
one, navigation, because you're going super fast, because you got a high-speed trolling motor in the back and a trolling motor in the front. And another one for fishing.
Yeah, and you gotta have some swag too, you know.
Yeah,
you gotta have a little swag. But I mean, this boat's got it. This kayak's got it.
It got a lot of stuff in, but I'm thinking, why 7? Let's make it 12.
Yeah, it may get in the way.
Maybe you want to watch a movie.
Yeah, you could.
Hey,
get bored of fishing though. Yeah. You can't get bored of fishing.
Well, if you catch your PB and you win the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Then you just order a pizza.
True. Hey. Yes.
Yeah.
It needs to have like a landing platform for the drum, right here.
Yeah.
So the pizza gets delivered.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. This is what do you call this? Is this a kayak or a boat?
This is a super kayak.
I like that.
Yeah, this thing's pimped out.
You can still launch it through your normal launch spot. You don't have to pay the marina fees.
No, this thing's pimped out for sure. 2 trolling motors. I mean, I was just checking it out. I mean,
this right here is a 3 horsepower brushless electric motor.
Out. What's the deal on this trolling motor? This new for it? I've never seen this.
Well, it's kind of like I mean, this thing could push it probably 6 to 7 miles an hour depending on conditions.
Yeah.
And it's different. It's brushless. It's not like the the trolling motor in the front. Like that trolling motor probably go 4 miles an hour. This is going 2 more. On a kayak, that's huge.
Oh, okay.
And you got dual power pole, and of course, because you know, if you anchor with just one, it's gonna turn you around. So now you got 2.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You know how much money is there here? Let me see. $1,200, $2,000, $1,000 each, $3,000. These are probably $1,000 plus the transducer. Oh my God, I don't even want to count. That's another $1,500. The battery is probably $1,000. Let's start right here. You got dual mounting. Actually, you got 3 power pole mountings, because you got this one, and the 2 power poles that you can see here. So you could definitely, I mean, this is what you can do. You could put 2 power poles, and you could put a super powerful high torque, it's gonna throw you off the seat if you're not careful, brushless electric motor. This is a 36 volt, and it's powered by this battery right here, but you should not get whatever battery, but I mean, if you're watching my channel, please get about the lithium batteries. With a 50-hour 36 volt battery, that thing is gonna last you forever. Plus you have that one in the front, like you see there. And this boat, I feel like they made this kayak for me. I might never get it because I'm not gonna buy it, but if they want to send me over to do a proper review, I'll be happy to do so. But look at this tank well. They made some changes to it. Now you have a deep area here that you could put a humongous black pack. This the biggest one that they have is 18 inches, and you have a lot of space still. Like, it's crazy. You have space on the side, so you could probably drop your cooler over here if you want to remove your paddle. Right here in here, the battery goes in here, as you saw earlier. There's a nice space, it's out of the way. And if you remove this right here, if you don't use this type of kayak card, you have space to put a cooler on top without affecting your back. Now the seat, look at this seat. This is a 360 seat. I'm not gonna show you how it works. I'm holding the camera with one hand, and then, you know, it's difficult. But the idea is that you could definitely spin this around, and you could fish over there, over here, turn back, work on the motor if you have to, and you still have a cup holder. Wow. Now, something cool that I saw, and it's just a little thing. Look at this flush mounted rod holders. They're different, they're unique. They're designed for this boat. It's not like an aftermarket ones that you just plug in, so it makes the boat look a lot nicer. The seat is on the rail, so you can move it forward and back, make it fit for yourself. And it has gear tracks all over the place. Man, this is cool, because you could put any type of accessories. If you need more rod holders because you don't have enough, you could definitely add more. And this right here feels solid. This setup is really nice. Of course, you got the drive. Why would you need a motor, 2 motors, and then a drive? Well, I mean, because it's fun, number 1. Number 2, redundancy. Number 3, I don't know. I don't know. I will personally probably never pedal, just run the motors. But you could, if you want to exercise, you have the pedals. Plus, if something breaks, you have the pedals. So you have redundancy here. And I think, will you buy this kayak and set it up like this? Probably not. You're probably just gonna have the Newport Vessel on the back, or the Torpedo, or a BIxpy and the drive, or you would just have this motor and the drive. The point of this setup right here is to show you what is possible. Now, if I'm the one who's getting this kayak, I'm definitely putting all this stuff, definitely taking fishing with everything here, and then I'll see what works. Because when you are out there, you really don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, what if you hit a bridge and you need a trolling motor, right? You want to stay in position, you cannot really anchor. That's why you have the trolling motor. What if you're in the shallows and you cannot use any of the motors? Well, you got the power poles to anchor yourself down if you want to do that. What if you want to stand up and fish? With a trolling motor, you can just stand up and look for the fish if it's deep enough. So I will probably take everything. Maybe not the fish finders, because if you fish a lot of shallow water, you don't need the fish finder. But hey, there's also storage underneath the seat, and all this thing feels very solid, man. Super strong. And it has to be, because if you're gonna have a Weeble 360 seat, you need something to hold your grip. Everything feels really nice. Now, this thing is sort of pre-wired. Look at this here. Look at this. Oh my God. I guess you could charge your phone with that. And then inside the boat, look at this. You got rod holders, 1, 2, and this is not just like getting a PVC tube and put it inside. It looks like they actually made pieces precisely designed for this boat, which is epic. I'm still thinking about what would I need to drive. Like, well,
I think I'm gonna have.
wow, this is crazy. Now, look at this. The footrest already set up that it will work with the trolling motor, so you can steer hand-free and go around the mangroves, whatever area you're fishing, and you don't even have to touch the remote control. You don't even have to use that motor in the front. But if you need to, you could. Now, moving forward right here, you got gear tracks over here that allows you to do this craziness and add graph. Now, you ask yourself, why would you need 2 graph on a kayak? Well, you have your TV over here, and then you have your fish finder over here. I don't know, the real answer is a lot of new fish finders right now have different kinds of transducer. For example, Humminbird has a 360 and a Mega Live, so 360 Mega and Live, whatever, one of those names, but you get the idea. So you need one for each. Yeah, why not have 2 if you can? Oh yeah, cool man, turn it around. Oh, that's nice, thank you.
It's locked there, but once you move it, it seems like you're not moving around.
You said that you fished out of kayaks before.
Oh yeah.
Can you explain the difference? Like, is there a difference? Like,
Well, like in a kayak, you're closer to the water. You can't move long distances, as quick. If you're in a bass boat, right? Bass boat, I can run 20 miles if I want to. Kayak, you're fishing a lot more, but you can get in places too that you can't get a bass boat. So you can get in shallower, you can get in those little creeks that, hey, normally you're not getting into the bass boat. There's so many more advantages, to a kayak, but this one's pretty sick. I'm impressed. It's obviously rigged out, but
helps me out quite a bit.
will you say that kayak makes you really explore an area? And when you're on your 250, you just crank it up and go to the next?
Yeah, you can go to the next if it's not working out. Kayak, you're kind of stuck, but you also, we fish by a lot of fish too in a bass boat. Kayak, you're fishing all the time, so, you don't miss a lot.
Have you caught the fish you needed by running, I don't know, an hour, 90 miles an hour to at the next spot? Like, have that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, tournaments, whatever, you're running, 20, 30, 40 minutes away to a spot you think's better than anywhere else around you. And yeah, it pays off. But there's times when you run past a lot too. But it's just different, fishing out of kayak, but I enjoy it.
What is your best memory fishing out of a kayak?
Really just getting way back in places where you never see another person, and you're just so remote a lot of times in a kayak, and that's one thing that I love about it for sure.
So, like, let's say a 6-pounder.
Yeah.
How does it feel, a 6-pounder here versus your bass boat?
Well, here you're a lot lower to the water, so at times they're harder to land for me because it's different. But you don't have the room to move around, so you gotta definitely know what you're doing to land one in a kayak. I feel like, because how you set the hook, how you reel in the fish, it's a little bit different than standing up all the time. So it takes some getting used to. It takes some skill, I feel like, to catch them out of a kayak.
On a boat, when you set the hook, it's a stronger hook set, right?
Yeah, stronger hook set, and you're standing up, so you got more power. Sitting down, and you can stand up and set the hook out of this kayak, and not.
But you have to like go harder.
Yeah. It's just a different feel to it. That's something I struggle with, but I'm learning.
We got the one and only Hans. Hans. There you go.
Yeah.
Say it.
Hans.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I speak Aliex, sorry. Oops. Almost hit that guy. So he's gonna give us a full walkthrough of something new they have here.
2023 Bonafide fishing. We have the SKF 117 or the Skiff 117. This is all new for us. This is a new platform. This is a sort of a flats fishing. If you're out on the coastal flats for marsh flats for redfish, trout, that sort of thing, you're push poling. This is a great flats fishing platform for you. One of the main reasons is that it is not only just a platform, it comes with our high-rise seat, and the high-rise seat is our most comfortable, really popular seat. It's a 2-position seat, and it is integrated into the boat. So Yeah, there you go. You can check it out. It's actually built to the into the boat, so it's easy to remove. You can remove the seat and add a cooler underneath if you want to do sight fishing and jump up on the cooler. There's plenty of stability. This boat is 11'7", over 35 inches wide, so lots of stability built in. The other thing we've done is created a wide open standing platform, and it's supported by a center structure underneath. You can't see it, but it's scuppered to the outside, so this is all nice and wide open for you. So if, let's say, landing fish, fly fishing, kind of keeping the area in front of you clear, this is great for those like kind of simple outings where you just want to kind of get out and go. It's 65 pounds, rotomolded polyethylene, so it's super durable. You end up in some oyster beds or something like that. It's great for just those kinds of adventures. And then the other things that we've done that make this really unique is when you're in skinny water, obviously you want to go, you want to get through those shallows. So we have a drop skeg built into it, so you don't have to worry about tracking. The boat, it tracks nice and straight, but the skeg is on a spring, and you actually can raise and lower it. So I don't know if you can get a shot of that or not. It's over back here.
Let me see. Let me go.
Yeah, come around. So there it is down.
So what happens if you don't raise it and you actually hit something?
So it's on a spring, so you don't really have to worry about it. If you hit something, it'll just push up into the boat. And the same thing for when you're loading the boat. You can just raise it up and pop it up on your car rack or trailer or whatever, truck bed. So
over here, so you have a power pole. Can you put a motor on that there?
So you can motorize it. You would add aftermarket foot braces like the Select foot brace kit, but we've added the spots where you can add the rudder steering lines. So you can motorize it. I have. It's super fun, honestly, and it all would mount to the power pole mounts as well. So it's good to go. The back, you can't see it here, but the back is actually big enough. That's going to hold like a Yeti 35 cooler or the 16x16 black pack. So you've got plenty of room back here for additional rod holders. And then these tracks back here are the tracks that support our Sidekick wheel system. So that's the drop down wheel system. So that's, the wheel system that stays with the boat, and just you can get it straight down the boat ramp and back. So it's really convenient if you want to add that to it as well.
I really like these tracks from Native. I mean, they're solid and it's easy to put things in there.
And they super solid. Yeah.
Things don't fall off.
That's right.
Wow. So what's the idea behind it? Like, who created this boat and why? Like, is this like somebody's?
So this is a boat that is really versatile. If you are a serious fisherman, this is a serious fishing platform. But also, if you're the kind of fisherman that just wants to go out and be a little bit more casual, it's also that, because I've got kids. My kids love this thing. They want to climb on it. If you've got a dog, you want to bring a dog with you. So it's both kind of a combination. It's both serious fishing platform, and then it's also like you can go have some serious fun. You can add a cooler under where the seat sits. So it's kind of it's up to you how you want to use it. It's just such a versatile thing to do. It's low, it's out of the wind, and it's lightweight, so it's easy. You can throw it in a truck bed and go. So yeah, lots of options there.
Any idea of adding the PDL drive to this? Was that a thought about doing a drive well and adding a drive to it?
No drive for this one. The simplicity is really the key here. I will say that one thing we did add as just a hidden feature is in the cup holder here, it actually scuppers through to a transducer pocket underneath. So if you did want to add a fish finder, you can do that too. So you've got plenty of options. It's like I said, you can make it fully rigged out, ready like a fishing machine, or if you're just going out for a float on a lazy river, maybe take your dog with you, it's perfect for that too. We can rig this with the Torqeedo, the 1103, the 403.
You had it, the 1103 on this?
Yeah. And
did you turn fast? Did you fall off? Like, how was the stability?
It's great. It's super stable. It is low to the water though, I will say. So if you're going, you need to. This is a true paddleboard style kayak. It's a hybrid, so you got to keep that in mind. But the stability's great. Turns fantastic. It's a lot of fun.
So when you were running the Torpedo, did you have the high seat or just the?
Yeah, high seat.
You're brave.
I actually took it striper fishing. I had a Torpedo on it, took it striper fishing, and I had the steerable foot braces rigged up to it. That's an aftermarket. You would sort of DIY those, but if you want to add a motor, you could do it. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is like bow mounting motors on this.
Yeah.
It's just it is designed to be low in the water, and it has plenty. It actually has plenty of capacity, but it is designed with a deck that sits nice and low. So you don't want to do. I would not recommend bow mounting, but stern mounting is like that's what it's meant for.
What's some of the specs? Like how much weight? How big is it?
So our capacity on it's 425, and that includes the boat, a little bit of gear. You really have quite a bit of gear that you can take, but this is again for fishing simplicity. So when you're going out in marsh conditions, things like that, you want a cooler, a little bit of tackle, but the nice thing is it's quick to the water and quick back.
So yeah, so the idea behind this is your easy kayaking type setup. Yes, you could motorize it if you want, but it's not to go hardcore fishing, taking 25 rods and 30 pounds of ice and things like that.
Exactly. These are your light, simple light missions. And the cool thing is that you can go marsh fishing and have a day out with this seat. This is by far the most comfortable seat on a stand-up platform like this. So, it's a great combination, and we were like, why not put a seat like this on a hybrid kayak like this? So,
will you take it river fishing?
Oh, I'm sure I will. This one is, I would say, like slower moving rivers where you're out floating with your friends. There's a cooler that'll be on mine, and it'll be a good trip.
When is it out?
It'll launch it's in the program this fall.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
It's a cool setup, man. How loud is it?
It's quiet. It's really quiet.
So you could like sneak into a tailing redfish and catch 5?
Extremely quiet, yeah.
Wow. And you said that it's low profile, so the wind should not be an issue, but if you're in a high sitting position, it may move you around like...
A little, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, if you have anything sticking up in the wind is going to catch some wind, so the seat is the same, but the boat itself is nice and low profile, so you can drop the seat down to the lower position as well if you really want to get out of the wind. So the two-position seat.
Are you able to just remove the seat and put like a cushion there?
Yeah, so let me pop this out real quick. So this is also sized for that Yeti 35 size cooler, and then it actually has tie down points as well, so you can lash the cooler down from the handles.
Giant Yeti right here with a nice platform and then a 9.9 on the back.
There you go.
Hey.
What's up, man? I know this guy.
Yeah.
We go way back, actually.
I know. I've been watching your videos since they were 240p. Remember those?
240p. Oh
yeah.
My gosh. Yeah, with the Sony camcorder.
Yeah,
and stuff?
exactly. And what is the April pack?
I still have it.
Still have it?
Oh yeah.
You should bring it back.
I wish. I would love to have it here with the pontoons on it and everything.
Yeah.
A little toolbox up front.
Theme park.
Yeah.
Look at Zoffinger.
Yeah. Vintage. We had to put it in a glass box, maybe.
Exactly. Hey, Zoffinger. Look, I've never been able to get my hands on this thing. I've been wanting to do a walkthrough of this thing forever.
Yeah, the mode.
The mode. Why is it the mode?
They've designed this so that you can use it in different ways, different modes, right? If you look at the transom back here, this has a footprint with 5 bolts in it. Right now it's got a transom mount in it for a motor. It's got a BIxpy motor on it. You can also get it just the boat. So if you don't have a lot of money right now, you can buy the kayak and just paddle it without anything here. But then if you decide you want a rudder for better tracking, you can add a rudder in the same footprint, the same 5 bolts. You can take the rudder off and then bolt the transom mount on it. It depends on the mode of kayaking that you want to do, and that's where the name was born.
So did they get this idea because of you?
Yes, the designer that we were just speaking with, him and I had a meeting once, and I mentioned being able to raise yourself up And where this idea came from is hard to say because you're at shows and you see different kayaks, different ideas, and sometimes it sticks in your brain and you're like, man, I really wish I could have that. And Pelican made it happen, mainly because I had mentioned it. I thought, that's such a great idea, why don't we have that? And yeah, they went ahead and did it. And I really do like the boost seat. It's called the Ergo Boost.
And it's kind of like, the seat is kind of below the deck.
It's fixed in this position, so you're not really moving it. It's not like it has a high and a low. But if you're paddling, this is the best place to do it, where you're nice and low and very stable. And then when you get to where you want to fish, you just go like this, and you sit up here. And if you have a motor, instead of needing a swivel, you can sit sideways. And you can reach back to the tiller without the backrest getting in the way.
Oh, that's very good, man.
See why that's there now?
And also what I was thinking of, look how level the seat is.
And my legs too are kind of in a position where it's easy to stand.
Right.
You know?
But like if you're one of those people that don't like this being stable, you want to feel comfortable, you could just sit on it. But if you want a higher, you know, being able to see the water more, you could just get up in there. If I
catch a fish like this, many times I push the seat up, and now you're closer to the water to deal with your fish. And this has a big flat deck. Look at this. Look at this area where you can stand and walk, and how flat and beautiful that is.
I love flat open deck.
Here, and you get to the water with nothing in your way is really nice. And up here you still have plenty of room for gear. Under here, you can put a battery there or your tackle box. Plenty of room. This keeps it secure. It's got rod holders. So when you set your rod down, you can put the tip under there. Forward-facing rod holders. It's got tracks. Flush mount rod holders back here. There's so many options for places to put your tackle. Just like the tank well in the back, which is pretty darn big.
I really enjoy Pelican open decks because I just feel like it's...
Aliex has got a place for your beer too.
There you go.
No, don't drink beer.
No,
that's bad.
What are you drinking these days? Water?
Yes, today water, for sure. I'm hydrated.
Lots of water.
Yep.
If you want to see really cool videos, timeless videos, go check his channel. You could watch a video of him from like 5 years ago and still better than most YouTube videos out there.
Oh, well, yes.
It's true, man.
So right. It's true.
Hey, I like the attitude. Keep it up.
One of the neat things about this inflatable is that it can get inflated because of that drop stitch technology. With only a few pounds of pressure, it gets to its capacity, but then you can increase the pounds per square inch a lot more. Like you can get up to like 14 pounds, which is a lot with this boat. And if it gets above that, you can't overinflate it because there are relief valves back here that will allow the air out. And if you've ever left something out in the sun, you know it can actually overinflate. This will prevent that. So it's never going to pop or blow up. And I've heard that inflatable kayaks sometimes can fail because of that. And they're even offering like a 1-year warranty on this boat. So if you're concerned about it not lasting, you're not going to have to worry about that at all.
Guys, we're here at iCast 2023 with the best kayak angler there is. This guy...
I don't know who he's talking about.
Bro, he just drops a lure and he catches fish.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Everything's easy for me.
Super easy. But have you noticed that inflatable is taking over everything?
I'm very surprised to see the level of professionalism when it comes to inflatable kayaks. Yes.
Now I see that you guys have something cooking. What do you got here? What do you got here?
This is a wilderness boat, and you know me, I'm a Pelican guy. However, Pelican and wilderness are not together, so this is new to me. I've never seen a drop stitch boat, but this is a great example, maybe the best of a drop stitch boat. It is very, very rigid. And I wish I had a picture to show you of how drop stitch works, because a lot of people don't understand. There are strings attaching the top and the bottom. A whole bunch of strings. You see the little dots here on the surface? Every one of those is a string. So when the two parts start to come apart as it inflates, it stops when the strings get taut. And that allows this to get pumped up to a much higher pressure.
which makes it much more rigid. What does that mean? It means when you're on the water, this feels like a real rigid plastic kayak, not an inflatable. It's not going to bend or warp, and
It's not gonna bend in two like this, like.
No. This is, I mean, extremely rigid. You see underneath here too, there's a hard skeg up front. This is going to increase the tracking and maneuverability of the boat. I don't know, it's a very professionally done inflatable. Somebody that I talked to said they had this tied to a dock where there were oysters, and there was no damage to it because they're making it that tough nowadays, which is counterintuitive. You think an inflatable boat is going to be very susceptible to damage, but they're taking the idea of something you can deflate and put into a backpack, and they're executing it properly, finally. So I'm excited about it. I never really cared for inflatables, but I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this one.
So
one of my own.
Is this a kayak? Is this a boat? What is this?
Inflatables typically are recreational, but now they're trying to turn it into a fishing boat. So yeah, this is a fishing kayak, pretty much. Inflatable fishing kayak. And you can see the seat on here, where you can sit up in two positions. You can sit on the top or stand up here if you're nimble enough. And you can sit at a lower position if you want to paddle it. It's got attachment points all over it. This comes with the boat, and you can add Scotty mounts or all kinds of accessories, rod holders, cup holders. It's just that easy. It comes with a bar on the front so that you could add whatever you want, like these mounts here. They make it easy to add equipment to your inflatable boat. There are D-rings attached up front with bungees. You can put a GoPro up front. This is all factory stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really neat. They make it easy to turn it into a fishing boat. And it weighs 50 pounds. How many of you guys have kayaks out there that are this big and they weigh 70, 80, 90 pounds? That can get old after a while. This is much easier to get to the water and on the water. And when you're done, you just wrap it up. You can bring it into your apartment or wherever small space you're in. Maybe you live on a boat and you need to, storage is a premium. This might be right up your alley.
Oh, you like to travel a lot. You don't want to deal with a lot of stuff. So, is this like 3 different chambers? Like, what happened if
There's
you get
two chambers, one on the bottom and one on the side. There are other similar boats that have just like round pontoons, plastic tubes on the side that are not drop stitched. So when you press on it really hard, it'll bend and flex. This does not. The drop stitch is very, very durable, and it's again, I'm just learning about this every day. I'm learning something new about it, something impressive.
When is this one going to be out?
I believe this is available now.
Now? Wow. Have you used it on the water?
No, I haven't tried it yet. It's brand new to me.
But you're gonna use it, right?
Of course.
And you're gonna catch a shark.
A shark?
Yeah. And let it bite it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting thing to try.
Yeah, I mean, if you survive.
Maybe I'll put a jet engine on it, see if it melts.
Oh, now we're talking. We're talking. Yeah. Oh my God! I just saw the video, the thumbnail. Make it happen.
Imagine how fast you can make it go because it's so lightweight.
Yeah. You gotta do that video.
I can put the gas tank up there.
Yeah.
No.
Make it pretty safe. Hey, what's up? What do you have there, Luther? What is that?
So this is the 3rd edition in our cart lineup. Basically, we know there's customers out there with, for example, Hobie kayaks that are made for scupper carts. So we wanted to give them a solution as well in that tow and stow line. So basically, you've got, in its simplest form, it's a scupper cart. So in its simplest form, you can use it just like a scupper cart. These rubber pieces here, you can take them off of the detachable bunks, slide it right onto here, and you've got just a normal scupper cart with a little bit of cushion. But if you want that little bit of extra support we've also got the click-on bunk. So you just drop those on, and then when you put the boat on, it's guided by the scuppers, but the weight is bearing on 4 points instead of 2, and it puts that weight out a little bit farther away from the scuppers. You know, there's a lot of manufacturers out there, like for example, when I owned Bonafide, we didn't recommend or authorize the use of scupper carts at all because it puts so much stress on the scupper. It's up to each individual to consult with their manufacturer about whether this would be allowed on their boats, but using it with these bunks will take a lot of that rotational torque that can cause scupper damage. So not exactly recommending this for any boats that the manufacturer doesn't recommend it, but if your manufacturer allows it, this is probably about the best solution you're going to find out there for taking stress off your scuppers.
So how will you compare that to the Bunkster, for example? Like, why would you want to have this? It doesn't make it easier? Like,
well, it's
everything.
Me personally, Aliex, I would use the Bunkster. So I prefer a bunk style cart. But there's a lot of customers out there that are using scupper carts and that like scupper carts because you don't have to use a strap. You know, there's a couple of small advantages to it. And the other thing we found out by adding a kickstand to this, when we sent this out to some of our team guys, it's easier than you think. It's still a little bit of a trick, but you can actually lift the boat up and set the scuppers down on the tubes. And we did this at the shop, and it was surprisingly, after the guys gave us that feedback, it was surprisingly easy to do. So we added kickstands to this as well. So I think there's a number of different advantages. Once you drop it on, you grab the front handle and you pull it. You don't have to put any straps on it. I still probably, for me personally, I'm more of a bunk style cart.
I love this one. I was able to use it through sand and through like grass, even on the water. Little tiny kayak that wasn't heavy at all, and it didn't come off. Can you talk about why? Like this thing's here?
Yeah, so we put these rubber bunks on here. They're rubber, but we also just used a really low durometer soft rubber. So when you set the boat on there, it just gives you a lot of grip, you know. And if you notice, we're kind of recessed out in the middle here, so you're getting 4 good solid points of contact whenever you set a kayak on here. Yeah, we've seen that. We actually didn't design it with the intention of using it without a strap, but we're finding the same thing. A lot of the times you don't even have to put a strap on.
This is so cool. Whose idea was that, to be able to put a strap through there?
I don't remember. I mean, we went through, gosh, I don't think there's any like space on this cart that we didn't think about. Could we attach a strap there, or should we attach a strap there? For boats that are wide enough, this is a great option.
Awesome. So what is your favorite kayak nowadays?
My favorite kayak?
Yeah, like if you could only have one.
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Probably my old SS127 is still my favorite. With electric, I've got a BIxpy on it right now.
I see that you have some new stuff over there that says do not touch. Can you touch it?
Oh, yeah, let's go take a look. So these are 3D printed prototypes. That's why we've got do not touch. We don't want, they're painted and, you know, kind of fragile, but basically what you've got here, after Wade gets his reel, it's a measuring board. You know, we've sized this one kind of optimally for bass, but you know, so it stops at 28 inches. You've got an integrated identifier built into the bump board, so you can just kind of fold that down, pop it out of the way when you're not using it. And then a lot of people are fishing multiple tournaments, so you can get these additional clip-on identifier holders that when you're stowing, you can just kind of fold them in, but it allows you to have multiple identifiers deployed when you take your photo. And then the other thing is just trying to remember, you know, whether you need to cull a fish or not. So we added this little cull tag system that basically you put these little buttons in here, and you can just kind of push down on them and slide them, and they increment at 1/4 inch increments. And that just helps you remember what's your current smallest fish, or if you want to put, you know, 3 of them in there, which are 3, you know, current biggest fish are.
Wait, I always catch super large fish. Are you gonna make it longer? Like, I need it like probably from here.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking. If we're gonna do an Aliex version,
it's gonna be probably like this.
It's gonna have to ship truck freight, like a kayak, you know, because it's.
Yeah, it has to be huge. So what else?
Yeah, right now it's like I said. I mean, bass is probably the biggest market for this. You know, the tournament scene. But yeah, we're gonna get. little bit of experience, get this on the market, and see what consumers are asking us for. And I'm sure we'll have other sizes. You know, we're looking at this board not as it's not a measuring board. It's a system. And you know, we looked at all the kind of problems that people have out on the water and the things they have to deal with, and we tried to solve for each one of those. You know, obviously being identifier being integrated in, multiple identifiers, the cull tags, but also just mounting the thing on the kayak. You know, they're a little bit unwieldy and long. So we've got two style mounts. There's a track mount that basically uses similar to a rotor grip. It's got a hook on one side in place of the wheel that hooks behind the board, and you just rotate it up, and it just pops in. See, this I'm talking about prototype. See, she's sliding down a little bit. We'll have to tighten that up. But you get the idea. Basically, it's just a quick in and quick out. And then there's more of a scabbard or holster style that you can mount horizontally or vertically. And I think we'll also have one angled position that you can put it on. But basically, you just kind of, you know, open the wheel. You can slide it out, push it back, cam it in place, and that's not going anywhere. So we're trying to go ahead and address the next problem, which is how do you manage this thing on the boat?
Any reason why it's wider than the others? Like, it seems like it's a little...
You know, we develop this the same way that we develop every product. We take a look at the application, and then we ask ourselves what's the best way to solve it. And it's good to know kind of what's being done sometimes, but we really tend to just look at the solution. And when we look at it, you know, number one, we wanted the fish to kind of self-center. So if you look, instead of a flat bottom, we've got kind of a V shape here. That's something a little bit different than what's on the market now. Look, there's one really strong, really good product out there already. You know, what we're trying to do is just solve for the things that we solve for, you know.
I mean, I think a lot of people lose their fish, so having that little wedge, maybe that's a little thing that helps them not lose the fish.
Yeah, you get out there, the boat's rocking around a little bit, you know, the fish is slimy and slippery and so forth. So we think this will kind of self-center the fish a little bit, make it a little bit easier to manage. And then the width, you know, I mean, you see a lot of fish. I mean, half of the fish is hanging off either side of the board, which that's fine, you know, as long as the fish stays still. But we just said, let's give them a little bit more real estate to just make it a little easier to manage the fish.
Like if you catch your PB, you want to make sure you're able to measure it properly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is for people that catch PBs, not dinghies.
That's right. Well, I don't know, the ruler goes, at least on the prototype, all the way down to an inch. So the other new thing, kind of exciting new thing, is the track pack. So this is a track mounted storage system. You know, what we noticed is people are using the cup holders for everything but drinks. I mean, you know, the cup holders became kind of a catch-all. So we said, you know, let's give them a little bit more purpose-built storage. So it's not something I would call a tackle box. It's just more like think of a miniature black pack that goes on your track. So basically you've got a, you know, hinged lid. It's got the gridlock system. It's kind of a reverse gridlock. Your screws would go from the inside out. So you can expect to see some accessories coming along that would be compatible with that. And then, you know, you notice it's got these two little hooks on it. Well, that's so you can stack them. So this is actually two boxes together. And the way, because they're attached by the lid, you can actually get to the bottom one without removing the top, necessarily removing the top one. And you can, and you know, there's a point of it practicality. Like I think more than two, this starts to get a little unwieldy. But you can, in theory, you can stack them as high as you want to. And then, you know, the boxes themselves are just boxes. But then we have this track-mounted bracket that also allows you to clip them right into the track the same way that they clip together.
And even if you take the boxes, you could probably use that to put lures there so they get dried out.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe something.
I mean, I could see like doing multiple boxes for different type of fishing and just swap them
Absolutely,
out
yeah.
without having to like reorganize this right here.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. And you know, it might be somebody might want to put, you know, their you know, a small battery and a cell phone charger in one of them. That's just their charging box. We think about it being out on the water fishing as dealing with fishing stuff, but we're dealing with a lot of other creature comforts too. So it's kind of, we try to leave it pretty open-ended. I imagine with time, we'll probably make some drop-in inserts and dividers and make them a little more purpose-built for different applications. But for now, we've got a really creative customer base that is able to figure out how to, you know, take something like this and do something cool with it.
What I enjoy about YackAttack is that you see a problem and you fix it. I had a problem with the cameras, like rolling around all the time. Like I always have fighting the camera. That's the last thing I want to do when I'm on the water. And those, what do you call it? Like lock and load.
The boomstick?
The boomstick that you lock it down and it doesn't move. What is the terminology?
Lock and load.
Okay, that it works. Like you set the camera and it's not moving. It's like right there.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And it's really saving me a lot of the few hairs I have left with that, you know.
And then over here we have a live scope mount. And again, you know, prototype. Basically this one, we've got some new 3D printers that print with a resin material. It makes parts that look more realistic, but they're a little bit rubbery. So this prototype's a little bit on the rubbery side. It's a little bit flimsy, but you get the idea. It's basically, you know, you've got all these live scope transducers out there now, and this is just a really good way to manage that out on the water. So you've got the ability to steer or to point your transducer underwater. You've also got some ability to kind of look around a little bit if you want to. And then, you know, just importantly, when it's not in use, this thing just kind of manages the arm, the stowing, and everything, so that you're just nice and clean on the boat. So we know this will sell into the kayak market. We also know that this is there's a need for this on the boat side.
Are you able to put like 2 transducer arms? Like in case you have Mega Live and the other one, like some of them have dual 360?
You could put dual end effectors on the end. We'd probably need a bracket for that, or you'd have to fashion a bracket. If there's enough demand for that, we would just build it. But yeah, you could definitely put 2 transducers on the end. The other thing to keep in mind, you notice this boat, the gunnel is angled. On a kayak, it's more horizontal. So this thing, the way these arms and things are made, it's all adjustable. So you can kind of just position it really anywhere you want to. So it took us a really long time and a lot of iterations to get this right, but what we ended up with here is super versatile across a lot of different platforms.
It looks really nice too. I like the colors.
And then the other thing is, you know, at some point you want to get off the water, you want to release this thing from the base, and that's also really cool. It's just a little, you push the safety, you rotate a lever, and then you remove it, and that's it.
Wow. Can you use the base for something else after you remove it?
Not currently. No, there's nothing else that would go in there, but we've talked about it. I mean, we've got a base now, kind of a heavy duty, easy connect base. There may be at some point in time.
Hey guys, this video has been 2 years in the making. Last time we got together and filmed a bunch of videos for you guys, that was 2021. This 2023. We're here at iCast, and a lot has changed, right, John?
Absolutely. We're only expanding our line. Like since 21 to now, we probably added another 35 to 40 products. And it's not stopping for 24. We're going to have even more cool stuff. We're going to show you some of that stuff today.
Let's get it going.
All right.
Where do you want to start? Left, right? It doesn't matter. Take it away.
You know what? One of the things about our company that we actually put on our banner is that we're leading the way with products from bow to stern. I think we're the only kayak accessory company that goes from bow to stern. So let's start with the stern and work our way up to the bow.
Let's go. All right, so you got one of my favorite things in the planet right here in the stern. You got a BIxpy, bro. What's up with that?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that with rear mounts, that's where we started. I mean, that's how we built our company with motor mounts. The thing that I wanted to do now is let you have your cake and eat it too. So we're trying to come up with multi-function rear mount plates now. So this is for the new Canoe Unlimited. This is where you can mount like a motor here, and then we're including our anchor system with this particular plate. But we're also working on triple mounts where you can put a power pole there or one of our anchor systems there and a motor in the middle. So we're giving you the ability to put multiple things on the rears of your kayak because it's really important. You want to be able to choose. You know, everybody disagrees on what kind of motor to have, but everybody wants to stop. So we want to give you the ability to easily put anchor systems, whether it's our products or someone else's. So this has got the quick stop infused with it. So very simple system for shallow water, or if you take your pole off and want to run a regular anchor up, you can also switch to deep water like super easy. Moving this way, we have one of our classes, oldie but goodie, but this is the Low Pro XD crate. This is basically designed to have up to 8 different 3700 cases in there, and everything is leaning towards you, so it just makes a really easy ergonomic reach, okay? I had back surgery a few years ago, so for me, I wanted to be able to just straight reach back, not to have to cock my arm or turn my body. On a new canoe, you can do it real easy, but on a lot of other kayaks, you can't. A couple of new features that we put with the crate is we have the ability to now change the angle of your side rod tubes. They also set up higher, so you don't need rod risers, or you don't need crate risers anymore. So we went ahead. These will clear just about every gunnel in the industry. So given the ability to change that direction has been really effective. And we still have our same classic dry bag cover system as well. Right here is a big seller of ours. This is our bump board holder. It also comes with bungee cords. We don't have it on for this particular video, but you can see how easy it is to secure your catch board. We've got little rubber neoprene inserts on the bottom to catch it and keep it snug so you don't lose a very important investment. These are not cheap, and we want to protect your investment. Right here, moving on up, we've got our classic, our quick pack. This is designed for 3700s now. You can put 2 of them in there, and then we give you like extra pockets. We give you a full range pocket and then a half pocket, if you will. And we sell this for like $36, so it's a really great value. And as you can see, New Canoe's got one of the widest seats in the industry, so this is an adjustable strap that even fits the widest seat, so it'll fit every frame seat in the industry. We've got over here, it's kind of a hard to reach one right here, but this is down. We're kind of using this in conjunction with our quick stop. This is our little smart cleat system. This mounts inline and with the rails, and this is designed to pull up, and then it locks down and holds your pole up so you can go to your next spot. And then when you're ready, you just lift up, let off the tension, drop it down, and it's ready to go and hold you in the position. So you can do more fishing and less adjusting. This is one of my favorite products that we've worked with. I'll get some of my rope out of the way here.
Let me get over here.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our flex rod system. This is an important piece for us. This is our classic 2 rods and paddle holder. You can put a rod here and a rod here. It comes in a pair. You can put them close together, or you can spread them far apart. You can either point your rod tips forward or take it in reverse and put them in reverse, again, to protect your investment. We've now created almost 8 different flavors of these. The reason why is we have customers that want them in different flavors. So we've got them in a 4-rod holder, a 2-rod, and have a bump board integrated, a holder in it. Again, they come in a pair, or a 3-rod setup. We even have our micro series, so if you have smaller paddle-only boats like a Crescent CK1, you can easily have that there. And now we have our new version where if you have a YackAttack rotor grip, you can actually put it right there and infuse it, so you can still have 2 rods and a paddle holder. Because if you've already bought a rotor grip, then you get to keep your investment and not have to make a new investment. So we've given you so many choices with this horizontal rod storage, and it's been very good for us so far. One of the newer items that we have is our simple cleat that we have. So if you don't want to use the smart cleat, or if you don't want to use our quick winder, then this is a very simple cleat system. It also has a hood on it that you can actually use it as a tying product. You can actually tie things to it as well. Like if you have one on each side, you can actually use it as a tie down, a vertical tie down as well. So we try to give you 2 functions with a lot of our products. This is a plate that's really flexible. This is a track mounted kind of a low profile version of our quick tracks. And you can flip this plate and have the tool holders and all that out towards your deck, or you can put it away and move it away to the other side. If you want to put it to where you're supposed to have other storage, you can move it over there where it's open and put your fish grips and everything safely out of the way of your feet. So it gives you a lot of flexibility there. And we have our XT phone holder. This is our extra deluxe. I love it because you can open this up. This will handle all your large phones, including the otter boxes and a lot of the other protective cases as well. I use this in my truck. I love it. I also use it in my kayak. I'll take it out of my kayak, put it in my truck when I'm doing long trips. All right, so for your new canoe guys, the Hobie guys, really excited. This is our latest quick track. We have multiple sizes of these, but this is our XD Plus. This includes a cup holder. As you can see, we've got a ton of stuff mounted to it, and we still have room. We got our pliers in here, you got room for your fish grips, you got room for your scissors, you got a micro track, you can put a phone holder right there if you want. So this is a great console that's very practical when you're out on the water. We've got a fish finder mount on there that that's our heavy duty one. 2 points of contact, there's no lean on it whatsoever. It's really stable, real sturdy. Can hold anything from a 12-inch all the way down to a 5-inch fish finder there. So as you can see, we're just giving you tons of options. Something I really love for the new canoe and the Hobie Pro Angler guys, this is our new storage item. This is the Quad Box Flex. Put 4 3700s in there. When you hit this strap right here and pull it, all your gear comes right out to you. That is super handy for me. Again, I've had back surgery. I have the flexibility of a Lego man. So for me, I got to be able to reach down, grab my gear, and slide it out. Everything easy reach. Everything looks great on dry ground, but if it's functional on the water, that's where you're winning. And that's at YakGadget, we care about function. The form looks good, but the function's even better. If you move on up, we've got a new item. We're making this. I've got another plate as well right here. I'll show you. So we wanted to concentrate on front anchoring. If you're not running a spot lock motor and you're in a kayak that you really want to be able to control and anchor down in the front, we want to make that easy. So we included a pulley wheel on this piece. You can take your handle off, mount this piece, and we've got this for a vertical handle, and we've got it for a horizontal handle as well. And that wheel, it just works really, really, really well. Works really easy there. And so, like on this new Canoe Unlimited, it's perfect for it. And then we've got that connected to our quick winder system. Again, you can just like hit this button right here, and that's just going to spin down. And then
wait, do it again.
Yeah.
All right, I think. Wait, let me.
So you just let that go. You just hit the little trigger right there. Go. Drop it down real quick. Manage your line. Then when you're ready to bring it up, you just bring it right back up again. Put it right back in there. And you can see it's a real easy pull there. And then you just put that over there, locks that in position. So when you go to your next spot, you just hit the trigger, drop and lock, and get you in position. Now for our newest item, really proud of this. This is the Quick Scope Live Pro scope mount. So if you have like Active Target, the Lowrance version, if you have the Garmin, the Humminbird, all the ones that make this live sonar, we wanted to give you the ability to easily mount this. Where ours differs from others, number one on price point. We're trying to stay in the $120 price range. So we're trying to keep this aggressively priced because you're already spending a lot of money already to be able to put this particular device. I mean, these things range around $2,000. Your transducer alone costs like $1,000. And that's the main question I asked when I was designing this, because I was like, what if you hit something? That's a $1,000 transducer you want to protect. So we designed a swivel kickout system. If you hit something, this is going to kick up and you're going to be able to protect your investment. The other piece of this too is we also have it vertical lift. So if you have what I like to call a oh crap moment, you can grab it and pull it up real quick too if you got to. You also have a height adjuster right here, this collar. You can slide this down and you have this collar. So if you like to fish standing up, you can stand up and then turn it and point anywhere. And we also put this really neat little arrow right there, so when you line up your transducer, the sonar is pointing where the arrow is pointing. So I really consider that. Usability is everything to me, and I wanted to make that easy to use. We also have a tension piece right here. When you tension that up, that keeps it from ghost steering on you, so it's not just going to spin around and around if you got current going on. So I really am proud of this. I think this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people on the water. And we're also going to include a 40-inch shaft, and we're also going to have it be 1.5 inch interior diameter, so you can get all those large cable heads up through there, so everything can be integrated through the pole and make it really clean and make it easy to use. YakGadget.com is where you can go get it. Aliex is going to have a special code. You want to use that code because you can save some money, buy some great gear, and also help out one of my dearest friends in the industry.
You're the best, bro.
Hey, right back at you. We got to get you back up to Tennessee. We got to have some fun time, or I may have to come down to Miami.
Let's do both.
I'm in, man. I need some saltwater experience.
You
man.
need some
I
real fishing.
I need some real fishing. I need to be taught by the master. I'm not flipping the kayak though.
Oh, ready for this, bro?
Let's do it. Let's start.
No, wait, it's my intro.
Okay, go.
Because if we don't do intros, then it's not a good video.
Okay, but I'm saying that you want to start there so I can hold it, and then we'll go around.
Oh, here, sure. Wait.
Actually,
no,
just go. Just go.
Yeah. Here. Hey guys, iCast 2023. We are the BIxpy. What do you say? How do you say it? I don't speak English.
BIxpy, BIxpy.
But what is it? Like a booth?
Yeah, the booth.
But it's not a booth. It's like an open door concept.
It's anyone's welcome booth.
At the BIxpy room right here, and they have huge updates. When I tell you huge, wait, Jack. What's up, man? Can you tell the people the huge updates? Because I mean, seriously,
it's huge updates, but it's a small motor. So new and improved, 2 inches shorter than the predecessor, the J2. All aluminum housing. We got all kind of features here. We got little mounts that you can take off right away. A little clip. You can take these off, so you can put more aerodynamic, more streamlined here with the fin. You can put it on paddle boards, on kayaks, on inflatables, really anything here. And then this is the new motor too. And then new battery. We got way bigger battery, 768 watt-hour battery. We got T-tracks on the features here. We got this brain that removes. We got, here's the kill switch, same kill switch, same remote, but this one also has a 13th speed, not just 12 speeds here. So we got 13 forward speeds, 3 reverse speeds, and a stop button. It also got a warp speed that if you tap it twice, it goes all the way up to max here. This is new and improved motor, new and improved battery, 768 watt-hours, so it runs twice as long as our other one.
I haven't been able to drain this yet. So what makes the K1 better than the J2 in your opinion? Like you.
Improvements of this, it's more responsive, it's Bluetooth technology. So you click it, it's easier on the water. You can kind of feel that it's more responsive. You're getting there, there's no lags, no pauses. You're on the water, you're quicker, it's there. And I'm not the best kayaker here, so every time if you hit something, it's not the end of the world. It's all robust, it's the aluminum housing. So if you do run into that sand, run into that rock, it's not the end of the world there. So
it looks like a little bomb.
It is a little bomb.
So show me around here.
Yeah.
How can you install this on like multiple watercraft?
You can install all kinds of things here. So I'll even show you here. This is a new feature here. So we have this new feature, the warp speed on this battery as well. So you tap here and you hold the second one and it goes all the way up to max speed here. So we just let it run, so it'll cook all the way up to that last speed here. So just like that. That's kind of adds to that more responsive feel. It's quick, it's easy. Turn off here.
Yeah, it's instantly.
But yeah,
there's
we have
no
over 20 different mounting adapters. And we have this one, you can see, fits right in the pod here. People love this one. Drops right on in, just like that. In, out. Even on just one kayak, there's multiple ways to do it. You see this right here, out the back. We have our universal rudder out the back. We have a power pole you can put out the back, the side, all kinds of things here.
Bro, can we take this to the lake and run it right now?
We can, yeah, we can hop right on in there. Easy, we can run 3 different ones on it. We have our new solar panels that you can, this one will charge the 378 battery. So if you're out there camping, you got long trips for the day, you got long trips on the weekend, you have nowhere to charge it, just lay this one out there and I'll charge that in about 6 hours, I believe. And then this one is a smaller solar panel for these guys. These are our new power banks. You can charge your fish finders, comes with this nifty little light. You can charge phones, it's got a super USB charger, so it charges your phones, your GoPros, your tablets about twice as fast here. And so this is a nice little all waterproof sealed lithium ion power bank there. So
you know what the perfect use for this? To inflate this, the paddle.
Exactly, you inflate this, it can inflate and deflate about 4 paddle boards. So if you're out there kind of on a lake doing a backpack trip, anything like that, you want to stay light, this is the perfect thing to do. This inflates it anywhere on the go. You don't need a car, you don't need an outlet, it's perfect.
Can you charge the battery while it's running?
You can't charge this battery as it's running. It's more kind of for longer days. You're taking it for lunch, you're putting that on as you're taking a break or out on the water, kind of out on the camping trip. But yeah, we can add to paddle boards. We have 3 different paddleboard mounts here, as well as a mount that you can put on any inflatable. It creates its own little slide and lock mount that you can glue on any inflatable, anything like that. Just use some glue there. We got more mounts here. We got twist and stows. We got pod mounts. We got everything here.
So you basically could like buy a little boat from Amazon, 20 bucks, and super glue it, and
That's right, yeah.
be motorized in the
Exactly, you
water.
just need some 3M glue, some high-res glue, and off you go, yeah.
Now, I see more stuff over here. What is this?
So this is our live well battery. So this is our 77, this is our live well battery right here. So way longer shelf life than any other battery you have. Lithium ion phosphate. It's got aluminum housing, it's waterproof, plug it in, shelf life is unmatched. It can run up to, I think, 24 hours. So you can run this forever, it's longer lasting.
6-volt battery?
6-volt battery, yes, and then this is 12-volt battery as well. So this is a boat here, same kind of through hole situation. But yeah, this just inserts as well, drops right on in. But this is specific to boat because they call it their Apex drive. So this drops right on in there. And then off you go. Oh, gotta make sure that's in there. There you go, drop in, drop out, and you're set. Easy to do. Put this in your straps and yeah.
So now, when is the 3 horsepower coming?
That's a question for their owner.
Hey Ryan.
Hey buddy.
Do you know that the video that you did a full walkthrough of that thing is getting way more views than the underwater video?
I'm not surprised.
People love you, bro.
It's pretty cool. Well, it's not me, it's the product.
No, it's totally you. That's why I'm gonna retire myself and you're gonna take it over, bro, because they love you.
Hey everybody, good to see you.
Hey Ryan.
Yes.
Bro, like, people are mad that this is not on all the PDL drive. Why is that?
The ePDL drive is designed for the new big water ePDL hull. It's internally wired with kill switch keys, so that if you hit something or fall out of the boat, the motor, if you're using the motor function or ePDL function, it will not run away on you. It was important to us to consider safety when launching this product. That is why, and we're not selling the drive separate. So you have to buy the Big Water ePDL Plus 132 Kayak to get the drive. The cool thing about it is, if anybody is a tournament angler out there, if you happen to own a Big Water and then buy a Big Water ePDL Plus, if you want to pre-fish a tournament that doesn't allow motors, you can pre-fish it from your ePDL Plus drive kayak, and then take your standard Big Water pedal and drop it into the ePDL hull and use it that way. But no, it is not available for sale after. You have to buy the kayak to get the drive, and that's for the wiring and for the safety features that we built into it.
So if you are a tournament angler and you fish both motorized and non-motorized tournaments, you could simply buy a spare unit?
Yes.
From the
or
old...
if you own one already, you just take that Big Water PDL and drop it into the ePDL hull to bypass and make sure that you're legal for the tournament.
So the other thing people are complaining about, because they don't, I don't think they watched the whole video, is the battery. They think that a 36-volt battery is the size of iCast, basically.
Yeah.
Can you show us how big that battery is?
Follow me, step into my office.
There you go.
Excuse me. This is the size of the battery. It's a 20 amp hour, 36-volt battery. You get incredible battery life out of this. I've seen some comments online criticizing that we went with such a small battery and why isn't it 100 amp hour? First of all, it's 8.5 pounds. Because this boat is designed to use it as a manual pedal drive, a pedal e-assist, as well as a fully motorized kayak, I can personally attest. I've been fishing out of prototypes of this boat for the last 2+ years, and I can go 2 to 3 days between charges because I'm getting from point A to point B on highest speed level, and then I get there and I'm slowing down and I'm fishing. I'm using e-pedal sometimes, I'm using fully motorized sometimes, I'm manually pedaling sometimes. You're able to milk this battery for a very, very long time. Nobody I know, maybe Aliex, I'm sure when he gets one, he's gonna run it full bore for 3 hours straight on speed level 5, but nobody uses the boat that way, especially if you're out there fishing. What's really cool about the battery life on this, it's rated to run for 3 continuous hours in speed level 5, so that's the fastest you can go in cruise control. But if you knock that down to speed level 4, you're gonna get upwards of 12 hours. Speed level 3, you'll get upwards of 24 hours. Speed level 2, upwards of 32 hours. And speed level 1, you'll get close to 48 hours, I believe. So a lot of battery life out of this really powerful little battery. So it's designed, we've tested it, we've put thousands of hours of testing behind how we have this set up, and we're really excited to bring it to market. You want to talk about why it's really special?
Wait. Before you do that, can you show them the battery, how thin it is? Wow. Now, I say that you could probably fish 3 days without having to charge it. Am I wrong?
Well, I'll tell you, I fish regularly 2 days. I'll fish hard 8-hour days with this battery on a full charge. And after 2 days, I get half the battery life left.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you totally could do 3 days.
You could. I would advise people that own anything battery powered to not run it down too far, because that will impact the battery health over time. So you don't never want to drain a battery fully. But yeah, I'm getting 2+ days of fishing coastal, tidal, river conditions where it's working the boat pretty hard, and I'm getting a lot of battery life out of this. So pretty cool.
Go ahead. Why is that so special?
Why I love this boat so much? I live in Maine. I do a lot of fishing in Maine, in Florida, Texas. I fish a lot of coastal areas. I love this boat because I don't have to exhaust myself. I can explore new waters confidently without factoring in I need to reserve some energy to get home against that incoming tide or against really rough conditions. It really takes a lot of those factors and minimizes them, because the boat takes a lot of the work off of my shoulders so I can focus on fishing. So when I want to manually pedal it, it's a manual forward and reverse drive. When I want to have a little bit of help, or I want to take my feet off the pedals and check emails or rig baits or eat a snack, I can put it in cruise control, take my feet off the pedals. It just allows me to experience and optimize my time on the water to have the best time that I can. I love the big water hull very much because this hull is designed to cut through rough conditions, current, and that's where I love to fish. It's where I'm catching a lot of fish. And so this boat is just a really good performing hull. Coupled with this new technology, man, I've taken this thing tens of miles and been able to get home and leverage the e-pedal to take some of that energy that I would normally be putting into the kayak experience. And it just makes it more fun because I can just relax and have a better time and not be exhausted at the end of the day.
Another big complaint is the price. $6,000.
Yeah, it's expensive. Innovation is expensive, okay? We understand the price point is big. It's one of the bigger price points on the market today, but we put a lot of engineering behind this, testing behind this. We did not cheap out on parts and components. We went to bat and delivered the most innovative product on the market today, and that costs some money. But when you factor in the kayak, the ePDL Plus drive, and the battery, all that's included in one package, off the shelf, this thing's ready to roll. It even includes a charger for your battery. All you need to do is bring it home, plug it in, register the kayak because it's motorized, and get on the water. You can outfit it however you want. You can go bare bones, or you can go to town with the accessorizing on this thing. But yes, it is expensive, but when you extrapolate the cost of the battery, it puts it in the ballpark of the autopilot. So if you buy an autopilot, you got to go buy a lithium ion or lead acid battery. That costs money, and so it's very comparable when you're comparing and contrasting the autopilot pricing. But innovation, if you want one of the coolest experiences on the water that's going to maximize your time and just unlock new fishing potential, here it is. I am very, very proud of this boat. I love it. It's become my daily driver. I still love my autopilot. I take that out a bunch too.
Wait. You say you take this over the autopilot?
No.
At the
No, I have the luxury of owning both.
We're done. But
no, I love my autopilot. I love my autopilot. I love spot lock, which you don't get with this. So when I'm fishing certain species, certain conditions, I still love my autopilot. But I have a trailer. One of them's dedicated to the e-pedal, one spot, and one spot's dedicated to the autopilot. So I'm switching out. But I love this boat. I love catching stripers in Maine. That's my favorite. And when I'm fishing at Rivermouth, and I can watch the fish surface and get there in a hurry, and get on the fish, like this allows me to literally run and gun fishing, and I love that.
Bro, do you remember the tidal wave change? How do you say that? Like the tides change.
Yep.
And also crazy nasty. I was number 5, pedaling hard, and I was moving like this.
Yeah.
The autopilot was like, you would have been thrown out.
Yeah, so the autopilot, your top speed, depending on battery life, how much weight you've got in the boat, how much you weigh, is between 3.8 and 4.5. This, you get a good solid mile and a half faster out of this thing. So it is faster. So when you're fishing a really strong outgoing current, like there's some days that because I live in Maine and we've got like 18 to 25 foot tide swings, like the tide moves faster than my autopilot sometimes. That's where this thing has been great, because if I'm fishing between like Isla Mirada and the next key, Marathon maybe, that tide moves in between those keys, even down in Florida.
Oh, dude, tell me about it.
There's some days, and when some of those tide swings are happening, where I have to plan ahead and work around that with the autopilot. With this thing, I can work against that tide swing and actually make ground. So I love this boat. And I really encourage you to, we're putting on a demo tour this summer and fall. So if you're, on the fence, or you're really skeptical, I encourage you to visit one of our demo tours this fall. Give this thing a try. It is awesome.
Okay, so people love to talk about the connectors. Some of them are concerned that with salt water and things like that it may break. Like, can you talk about it?
Nope. We've tested the crap out of this. If you are diligent about rinsing your drives and your gear after saltwater use, that goes a long way. Also, normal plug care and maintenance is important. Dielectric grease your plugs. Make sure they're clean and free of debris like sand and seaweed and all that crap. But make sure that you're greasing your plugs. Grease your connections, keep them clean.
How is that plug? Oh, it's a normal battery plug. Okay.
And if you end up buying one of these things, I encourage you to reach out to Old Town Customer Service and buy extra plugs so you have them on board. So if you do have a plug failure, which is prone to happen, you can replace it on the fly. But we've tested this whole system for the last several years. We're coming to market with something that is validated and tested and tested and tested. That's something that is super important to us. I think you've seen it with our pedal drives that exist, our motorized boats that exist, and it's something that's really important to us, is quality. So
is that one over there the same boat on the other side?
So we've got that's one thing too. We heard you. You wanted more color options, different color options within the Sportsman line. I'm super pleased to announce in 2024, the Sportsman line getting an additional color, and it's getting 2 color refreshes. Ember, our orange camo color, will remain in the Sportsman line. We are adding this new steel camo for all boats within the Sportsman line, as well as the marsh camo, which is like a traditional camo. I'll show you what that looks like. Come on over here. The traditional camo color as well. So you have ember, you've got steel, and you've got traditional camo now. Photic goes away for the Sportsman line. You can still buy Photic colored boats in our recreational line, but we wanted to refresh the line, give another option. And so now there's 3 color options starting in 2024, and you'll find them in all Sportsman models.
Sweet, let me just give them a glimpse of the color. So now,
yes,
the other complaint is, why not forget about this and make the autopilot talk to the fish finder and make it brushless?
As you know, we are sister companies with Minn Kota. We work with their engineers to launch the 106 MK as well as the autopilot motors. They just launched a brushless motor this year. And so brushless is on the radar for everybody. And that's definitely the gold standard for where trolling motor technology is headed. Right now, we have what we have. It's tested, it's tried, it's true. It works great, and we love it. And, just keep an eye on us in the future. You never know.
What Ryan is saying is that it's going to cost you $10,000 if they do that, and you'll be mad.
Hey, innovation and technology, it costs money, and it's something that we're investing into the sport. We want to make these crafts as capable and as user-friendly and as intuitive as possible. And that's where the price points are creeping up, is because we're investing in this sport to make the most premium, most high-quality crafts that we can.
Do you see a near future where this will be able to be used on the 120, on the Salt is gonna fly?
Yeah, so just keep your eye out. You never know what the future holds.
Now, I noticed, I think, not sure, have this been like limited out where maybe there's more output that you could have, but it was brought down?
We optimized the speeds on this That's a great point and a great question, Aliex. So right now, you know, the speed, you can get up to 5 miles an hour with this in Speed 5 cruise control and pedal e-assist. I mean, you can push it harder with your, if you put it in speed level 5 e-assist and pedal harder, you can get more out of it than 5 miles an hour, but it is rated for about 5 miles an hour given several factors, conditions, weight of the angler, and weight of gear that you have. And battery health as well. If you take good care of your battery, you'll get optimal performance. But we've optimized the speeds for certain situations. So speeds 1, 2, and 3 are optimized for your typical trolling speeds for fish. So speed 1 is about 0.8 miles an hour, speed 2 is about 1.5 miles per hour, and speed 3 is 2.1. And those are your typical trolling speeds for various fish. And then speeds 4 and 5 are your, like, let's get up and go speeds. So those are going to be tuned for fishing for 1 through 3, and then get up and go for 4 and 5.
If you pedal normally, and then you do a speed 2 and 3, you could probably hit 5 miles an hour without much effort. Like, what would be the optimal? Like, if you want to go the faster but also save the most energy, how will you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's going to depend angler to angler. And your strength, your leg strength. But if you're in speed 3 or 4 and you're in e-assist and you're able to apply some human element to that, you're going to get optimal battery life and you're going to maximize your speed for this setup. It's going to depend person to person, and again, how well you take care of your battery over time.
Another thing that people are talking about, and I want to prove the few hairs I have left, is they're saying that somebody did this before, like Phil Free, Jackson, where they had a motor that was on the drive.
Well, the difference there is ours offers e-assist. So with some of the other competitors out there, you had to choose. Am I going to pedal or am I going to use a motor? It was a one or the other. This offers 3. You can pedal it manually, you can have e-assist like an e-bike, or you can have full cruise control. It's all integrated. It's not a pick or choose. It's, you can hit a button and change your setting. There's 3 different modes: manual pedal, pedal e-assist, and fully motorized cruise control. So it's all integrated, and it's unlike anything that's out there, and it's patented. So we're really excited and very proud of that. Demo tour this fall. If you keep an eye on our website, we'll be promoting where you can get out near you to try this thing. We're taking pre-orders on it. We're starting to ship it in spring 2024, so about January timeframe. But you can pre-order this today to save save one for you. But if you're, not convinced, or even if you're like, I don't know, come try one. Because honestly, Aliex can attest to this. It's not until you actually get in it and experience what this thing does for you that it will start to explode your brain a little bit and make you think about where you love to fish and how you can maximize where you fish and maybe reach places you weren't previously confident to do so.
What do you tell to the viewer who says that this is for lazy people?
I am probably the least lazy person out there. What I've found, again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, is I've been able to explore new and different places that previously I wouldn't have taken any other kayak. I'm able to explore new places and maximize my time and optimize my time to catch more fish and to lean into the thing that I love to do, which ultimately is fishing. So it's not for lazy people, it just makes your experience all the better.
Ryan, how many hours have you clocked in on this?
I've been fishing out of prototypes for years. We've been working on this for years, and I've been fishing out of this secretly for a very long time. And I've put hundreds, if not thousands of hours in this boat, and it gets my stamp of approval, much like the autopilot. I love this boat, and again, don't take my word for it. Come try one. Aliex, what about you, man? Let's bring you back into the frame.
Okay.
What do you think?
Everybody click up now.
I mean,
okay.
You're naturally optimistic, but you've gotten more cynical with age. No, I'm just kidding. But you're honest. Your viewers see that. What do you think?
Bro, it's your fault. Again, how many times did I tell you that? 4 times. Autopilot. I don't want to work. I want to fish.
Yep.
This still allows me to do. Okay. Let's put it. So when we fished that day that I didn't catch a fish because they were gone, there was no fish there. Only 1 or 2 fish left at the whole entire bay. I used it 95% on cruise control.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to work out.
Yeah.
But when I had to push it because the current was horrible or I need to get out of the way, I just hit the pedals, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
But I miss my spotlight. I miss my autopilot. You know, I think it's great for people, like if I'm going offshore, I'm taking that. I'm not taking the autopilot. Heck no. Like I will have nightmare if I take the autopilot. With this, I know that I could go a really far away. I know if I get hit with a 4 miles an hour current, I could just put it in cruise control and drink something.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I'm safer.
And at the end of the day, if you forget your battery, you forget to charge your battery, it's still a manual pedal drive kayak.
Yeah.
You still forward and reverse. You still can get to where you need to go. And you know, unlike a motorized offering, you don't have to think in the back of your mind is like you're doing math. Like how far can I go and how much juice do I need to get back? And that's something that this eliminates. Like you can go for however long you want and still have confidence to get home.
But my main complaint, bro, why this one and not the 120? I think that's the main beef that I have with it.
This is our top of the line pedal drive kayak. It is made to cut through big water.
Because it's big water. And
it is
this
a big
is designed
water
for big
kayak.
water.
And this is designed to maximize your experience in the toughest conditions. Our flagship pedal model with the flagship technology made perfect sense. And this technology, we've invested a lot in it. There's a lot more to come, okay? So we wanted to launch the newest technology in our flagship pedal model because this boat's built for it.
So,
but stay tuned.
So when this boat and the Autopilot 136 gonna get together and have a baby?
The future is bright. But thank you so much, Alex. It's always a pleasure. It's really good to see you all. Thank you so much for, you know, subscribing to his channel and for your interest in our brand. If you want to learn more about Old Town and this new technology, again, visit a demo tour this fall, but check us out, oldtownwatercraft.com.
Boom.